Welcome back, everybody. And in my last video, I said I was gonna give y'all some information out there that could help a whole lot of y'all if you take the time out and look into it. Now, like I told you before, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, I don't have none of those licenses or nothing. So for real, I'm just saying, if you wanna, you can't take this to court saying that this is what I showed you how to do. Do your own research, you know what I'm saying? Because everything I'm showing you because I did this pro bono, meaning I basically did it on my own. Because the average person, if you ain't really got a whole lot of money, when you went to go to court for child support, 9 times out of 10, you didn't take a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So basically you was in there pro bono trying to do what you was doing on your own. And a lot of times that's what hurt us, because we don't understand or know the law. Now, it's different things that your lawyer would never tell you, for the simple fact, if he told you exactly how to get yourself some wiggling room out of this, then he wouldn't make no money. You know what I'm saying? So he got to drag you so he can continue to make money. Plus, I feel like, me personally, it's not necessarily a true statement, but lawyers work for the courts anyway, as well as for themselves. So it's not a win-win in your favor at all. But nonetheless, let's get to this. The first thing you're going to get from court is you're going to get a notice, basically from the courts, and it's going to be a summons and a complaint. Now, on this summons and complaint, basically the complaint is basically, according to here, the complaint basically tells you who the plaintiff is in the case, and the summons basically tell you that you have a case that's pending against you. Now, for people out there that don't really know, when somebody summons you to court, or when the court summons you to court for child support, basically you being sued, okay? You're being sued at this point. So, like I said, a lot of people don't realize they being sued, okay? Like I said, when you get time, go and do a little investigating on your own, but this information is gonna be critical for a lot of y'all that's in the process of getting put on child support or being subjected to child support, or for individuals that ain't made it that far yet, and sooner or later you're gonna end up in court for child support. Hopefully you don't. I say, fellas, take care of your kids. You know what I'm saying? If you got it, make sure you share with them. Take care of them. Show them love, because that's your bloodline. Okay? This segment here is basically to show you how to stay out of contracts, because that's what you basically doing. You commit yourself to a contract and you really don't even know it. Okay? So what happens is, once you get the summons, on the summons, a summons basically, when you get your summons, you see right here, it's basically telling you, number one, you are being sued. Okay? That's the first thing it's telling you, that you're being sued. So if you're being sued, that means there's been some harm done to somebody's person or somebody's property or something like that. And so it makes it a civil case. Okay? A lot of times individuals go in there thinking it's just about the kid or the child in question, but nevertheless, it's about some harm being done to somebody and somebody wants some money. Usually the courts come at you, or child support courts come at you, when they trying to get some money out you. So they coerce the female to put you on child support. You know what I'm saying? They coerce mean they threaten them, they trick them into it. And then when you get in there, they trick you into signing into a contract, and you don't even believe it. You don't even know it's a contract. And a lot of times you end up paying a bill at the end of the day. Okay? And in a lot of cases, people get these notices in the mail and they don't reply to the notices. They don't respond to them in the days given. On this paper, it tells you, on these documents, it tells you that you have a certain amount of time to respond. It shows right here. It says you have a certain amount of time to respond to this document. If you don't respond, you basically you saying everything that came in that letter and you didn't respond to it, you basically saying that they right about what they're saying, and they can go ahead and do what they want to do. Throwing this stuff away when you get your mail and you just throw it in the garbage, and that's with anything. you're basically saying that it's a true fact or whatever, anytime, because they really trying to conduct business with you. We throw the paperwork away because we don't know how to conduct business. And it's basically somebody trying to conduct business with you. But if you throw the paper away, you're not conducting business, so they can take it upon themselves to do what they want to do, okay? So, nevertheless, when I got the summons, and I looked at the summons, I was like, man, somebody's suing me, you know, because you gotta read your documents. And once I found out who was suing me and what they were suing me for, I was like, man, what is it I can do in order to get out this lawsuit? You know, and this is when I started realizing that this right here was basically something that's civil. So what I ended up doing was, they sent me this paperwork that I showed you already, and on the back of this paperwork, it basically had this right here attached to it. Now, you gotta excuse me because it's been scribbled out a little bit, and it's basically the friends of the court, defendant's response to the complaint. Now, on here is nowhere for you to respond. Basically, they just want all your information, and here's a barcode right here. Basically, you finna get put in the system, they finna put you in a file. You know what I'm saying? So once they put you in this file, then they just started the contract. All contracts don't say contract. So you gotta know when you're into a contract or when you're not into a contract. Usually a contract is somebody trying to get you to commit yourself to a deal, and both of y'all agree to it, and is recognized by the court of law, okay? So what I ended up doing was, when I got mine, I had to sit down and think about what you gonna do about this, man, because this right here was a big deal. Because you already know, once you get put on child support, they taking your license, they messing your credit up. And the crazy part is, when I looked this stuff up, the crazy part was this right here. The balance that you need to owe for them to start garnishing your checks and stuff is $150. That's one payment. That's one payment. You miss one payment and they can start garnishing your checks, because they saying that's basically back money. So they use the smallest amount to be able to do what they do, and you contract into it. You say, okay, bet, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And you look up, the average person pay $100 and some dollars. It's $150 or better per child that you end up paying. So they put the smallest amount on there because by law they can garnish your stuff. You see what I'm saying? And once you get trapped off into that, you're really gonna spiral out of control. So what I did was, by me not filling out that last sheet that I showed you, I didn't fill it out because I realized they trying to do business with me. So now I had to put my own document together, basically so I can do business with them. I didn't want to use their document, because once you sign something and give it to them, then basically your signature, they're gonna take it and run with it, trust me. They're gonna take your signature, they're gonna run with it, and the next thing you know, you all trapped up and stuff. Paper is not alive until you sign it. When you sign a sheet of paper, that's what brings that document or piece of paper to life. Other than that, it's just sitting on the desk, it's dead, it's dormant. You can't do nothing with it, can't nobody else do nothing with it. As soon as you put your signature on that piece of document, then the document come to life. So what I did was, I looked up defendant's response to a complaint to find out exactly what that was, okay? And when I found out what that was, basically it's saying that you gotta respond to whatever complaint that's being made. What's your response to it? Now, as you can see, when I showed you on the complaint in the beginning, it showed that you had a certain amount of days. It's usually 21 to 28 days, okay, that you got your response. In those days, it's not including weekends. They just basically business days. Holidays and weekends don't count, okay? So you got the 28 days, the 21 to 28 days. So that give you basically like a month and a half, almost 2 months when you add up the days, talking 5 days out the week instead of 7. So I responded to the complaint. Now the way I did this, I wrote myself in the third party like I was doing business, because I told you I'm doing this pro bono. So by me doing it pro bono, I had to step out of the rims and act like I was defending what they call a defendant, because you the defendant, you're the one that's got to defend yourself, and the plaintiff is the one that made the complaint. So by me being a defendant, in my response to the courts, I responded to the courts, and this right here, in my response to the courts, This was my response. Instead of telling them, instead of filling out their paperwork, I filled out my own. Now, I'm going to read this to you so that you can see basically what they were saying. Now, when I got the complaint, you will see how I talked in the third party and didn't put my name on none of their paperwork, okay? I just did what I had to do and use my own paperwork. So now I'm not pulling myself into no type of contract with them or filling out none of their contract paper, because that's all it is contract paper. So in this complaint, I said the reason for filling this out was the complaint, response to the complaint. And it said the plaintiff's complaint was received by certified mail on such and such and such a day, and in response to the complaint, the defendant does not deny the fact that the defendant is one of the parents of the child in question and does not reject the parental duty. Basically, what I'm telling them is, I ain't got a problem with nothing you said. Okay, because remember in the first video that you heard me, I was trying to figure out how can I dismiss the judge, and me and the friends of the court, we can settle this out of court. Okay, so basically in my letter, I was basically telling them in my letter that I agree with everything you said. Now, since I agree, we don't need the judge no more. You see what I'm saying? We don't need the judge no more because I don't agree. So you say, well, man, how you don't need the judge no more? Because it's not a difference, so we don't need a referee. I agree with everything they were saying. Only thing I didn't agree to was the money that they was talking about, because I don't owe you nothing. I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, in most cases, it don't be the mother, it be another institution coercing them or tricking them into pulling you into a contract, and you jump right into the contract because you got tricked just like she got tricked. You see what I'm saying? So now they done got you in the system. So me, I didn't want to be in nobody's system. So what you do when you settle out of court, you find out how much it is. So I asked them to send me the bill. Send me the whole bill, not no partial assessments or nothing like that. Send me the whole bill, okay? Well, since the mother was still doing her thing or whatever, the prosecutor couldn't come up with no numbers. And this right here is basically what ended up happening. Now, later on, I'm gonna have some more information for you, but as you can see, the amount that I gotta pay for child support, right here, you will see that it says 000 for the monthly child. And right here, the ordinary health care, how much do I have to pay? 000 for the normal health care. Now the status, I gotta pay 000 per month until this child turns 18. So you see, this is real, man. There ain't nothing fake about this. Ain't nothing to be played with it. And I'm telling you, this is real. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know a little more information, just keep up with me now, because I'm going to show you some other stuff. I did this outside of going to court. You know what I'm saying? And there's different phases in this, because sometimes you have to do it from prison. If you locked up, you can do it from prison. You can do it on the street. You just have to go about it another way, but it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant. I don't have no license to be giving you legal information, but I am a coach, and I can basically tell you what happened with me and my constituents, or either the people that hang out with me from time to time that had to go through this process. So if you're trying to figure out how to get rid of your child support, just keep tuning in, because I got a whole lot of more information for you. And I'm going to make it where you probably can get more information, you know what I'm saying, about this way, if you just keep tuning in. So tune in, subscribe, and we going to hang out. And I got different other topics that I want to bring up that's going to help you, life topics, everyday living topics. Tune in, subscribe, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do what we can do to get this child support off you, or to keep the child support off you. Until then, y'all have a good day, and I hope y'all done ate enough.